Hey, stop. Right there. You've seen that scene 100 times in movies. Guy clutches his chest, falls dramatically to the floor. Maybe someone screams. Maybe they survive. Maybe they don't. But here's what Hollywood never shows you: what is actually happening inside that person's body, second by second, in those first 10 minutes. Because those 10 minutes, they are the difference between life and death, between full recovery and permanent heart damage, between someone going home to their family or not. I'm going to walk you through every single minute. What's happening in the arteries, what it feels like from the inside, and exactly what you or someone near you should be doing. Stay with me. This might be the most important video you watch this year. Minute 0, the blockage begins. It doesn't start with chest pain. It starts silently, deep inside one of your coronary arteries. These are the vessels that wrap around the outside of your heart like a crown, delivering oxygen-rich blood to the heart muscle itself. Now, in most heart attacks, about 90% of them, there's already been a slow buildup of plaque, cholesterol, calcium, inflammatory cells, all packed together inside the artery wall. This is called atherosclerosis, and it can develop silently for decades. Then, something triggers that plaque to rupture. Could be physical stress, a spike in blood pressure, even emotional shock. The plaque cracks open, and your body sees that crack as an injury. So it does what it always does with injuries. It sends platelets to plug the hole. Within seconds, a blood clot, a thrombus, begins forming right there inside the artery. The artery starts to narrow. Blood flow to part of the heart muscle drops. The clock has started. Minute 1 to 2. The heart muscle notices. Within the first 1 to 2 minutes of reduced blood flow, the heart muscle cells, called cardiomyocytes, start running out of oxygen. Now these cells are metabolic machines. They're working every single second of your life, never resting, never sleeping. They need a constant, uninterrupted oxygen supply. Without it, they switch to an emergency backup system called anaerobic metabolism, basically burning fuel without oxygen. But this is inefficient. It produces lactic acid as a byproduct, and that acid starts building up in the local tissue. And here's where the person first feels something is off. It's not sharp pain yet. Most people describe this early phase as a vague heaviness in the chest, like someone sat on it, an unusual fatigue that came out of nowhere, a dull ache behind the breastbone, the sternum, sometimes just a feeling that something is wrong, but they can't explain what. This is the stage where most people make a fatal mistake. They rationalize it. I probably ate something. I'm just stressed. Let me sit down for a minute. And those minutes cost lives. Minute 2 to 4, pain starts radiating. By minutes 2 to 4, if the blockage is significant, the ischemia, that's the medical term for oxygen deprivation, spreads through more of the heart wall. Now the brain starts receiving distress signals through the vagus nerve and the cardiac sympathetic nerves. But here's the fascinating and terrifying thing about cardiac pain. It's referred pain. The brain gets confused. It doesn't always know the heart is the source, so it interprets the signals as coming from other places. This is why heart attack pain radiates down the left arm, classic, but not always present, up into the jaw or teeth, often mistaken for a toothache, into the neck and throat, feels like pressure or tightening, through to the upper back, especially in women, into the right arm or both arms. Women, by the way, are significantly more likely to have atypical presentations, nausea, fatigue, jaw pain, and back pain without significant chest discomfort. This is one reason women's heart attacks get missed more often in emergency rooms. That's a real problem we need to talk about more. The pain at this stage is typically described as squeezing, like a fist clenching around the chest; pressure, like a heavy weight pressing down; burning, sometimes confused with severe heartburn. It does not usually feel like a knife stabbing you. That sharp, localized chest pain is more commonly musculoskeletal or a pulmonary embolism, not a typical MI. Minute 4 to 6, the body goes into emergency mode. By now, the body knows something serious is happening even if the brain hasn't processed it yet. The sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight system, fires hard. The adrenal glands dump epinephrine, adrenaline, into the bloodstream. This triggers a cascade. Heart rate climbs rapidly. Blood pressure spikes. Sweating starts, often described as cold, clammy, drenching sweat. Not normal exercise sweat. Profuse, sudden cold. Skin goes pale as blood is redirected to core organs. The person may feel an overwhelming sense of doom. Doctors actually call this angor anemi, literally anguish of the soul. Patients describe it as feeling like they are about to die, not as a thought, but as a physical sensation. Nausea and vomiting can begin here too. The vagus nerve, now heavily stimulated, connects directly to the gut. Some people vomit before they ever feel significant chest pain. And critically, shortness of breath begins. As the heart struggles to pump efficiently, pressure backs up into the lungs. The lungs start getting slightly congested. Breathing becomes labored. Minute 6 to 8. Cell death begins. This is the point of no return if nothing has been done yet. Around the 6-minute mark of complete blockage, cardiomyocytes begin to die. Irreversibly. Once a heart muscle cell is dead, it does not regenerate. It gets replaced by scar tissue, fibrous, stiff, non-contractile tissue that weakens the heart's pumping ability permanently. The medical term for this is myocardial infarction. Myo meaning muscle, cardial meaning heart. Infarction meaning tissue death from loss of blood supply. The size of the heart attack, how much muscle dies, depends almost entirely on which artery is blocked and where in the artery, how complete the blockage is, how quickly blood flow is restored. The LAD artery, the left anterior descending, supplies the largest territory of the heart. A complete LAD blockage is sometimes called the widowmaker, because it can cause massive, rapidly fatal heart attacks if not treated within minutes. Time is muscle. Literally, every minute of delay is more dead heart muscle. Minute 8 to 10. What needs to happen right now? If someone around you, or you yourself, is showing these signs, I'm going to be very direct with you right now. Step 1. Call emergency services immediately. Do not drive yourself to the hospital. Do not wait and see. Do not call your family doctor first. Call emergency services. Paramedics can begin treatment in the ambulance. Oxygen, aspirin, monitoring, clot-busting drugs, if appropriate. The hospital starts before you arrive. Step 2. Aspirin, if the person is conscious and not allergic. 325 milligrams of regular aspirin, chewed, not swallowed whole. Chewing gets it into the bloodstream faster. Aspirin inhibits platelet aggregation. It helps stop that clot from growing. This is one of the most evidence-backed, life-saving, simple interventions in medicine. Do not give aspirin if the person is unconscious, has a known aspirin allergy, or is actively bleeding. Step 3. Keep them calm and still. Exertion increases the heart's oxygen demand. Moving around makes a struggling heart work harder. Have them sit or lie in whatever position is most comfortable, usually semi-reclined, and stay with them. Step 4. If they lose consciousness and stop breathing, start CPR. Push hard, push fast, center of the chest, 2 inches deep, 100 compressions per minute. If you don't know rescue breathing, hands-only CPR is still highly effective and is what most emergency services now recommend for untrained bystanders. Keep going until the paramedics arrive. What happens at the hospital? At the hospital, the first priority is an ECG, electrocardiogram. Within minutes of arrival, a 12-lead ECG can show exactly where the blockage is and what type of heart attack this is. If it's a STEMI, an ST elevation MI, the gold standard treatment is primary PCI, percutaneous coronary intervention. They thread a thin catheter through your wrist or groin artery, up into the coronary artery, locate the blockage, and deploy a stent to hold the artery open. The goal time from arrival to balloon, opening that artery, is 90 minutes or less. Every minute counts. Blood flow is restored. Dead tissue can't be revived, but the living tissue around it can be saved. This is why calling 911 immediately, not waiting, is not an overreaction. It is the single most important thing a person can do. What you need to remember. Let me leave you with the things I want stuck in your head. 1. Heart attacks often don't feel like the movies. Pressure, heaviness, jaw pain, back pain, nausea. Not always dramatic. 2. Women present differently. More fatigue, more back and jaw pain, less classic chest pain. Take it just as seriously. 3. The first 6 minutes matter enormously. After that, muscle starts dying permanently. 4. Call emergency services first. Aspirin second. Stay still. Start CPR if they go unconscious. 5. If something feels wrong with your heart, you are not being dramatic. You are being smart. If this video helped you understand what's happening inside the body during one of the most common causes of death in the world, share it. Put it somewhere your family can find it. Because knowing this doesn't just help you. It could mean you're the person who saves someone else's life one day. I'll see you in the next one.